Allie+Bess is a fashion jewelry brand located in Dallas, Texas.
We were founded because we were young moms and we had young children and we wanted jewelry that was just easy to wear. It was kind of an accidental starting. We fell in love with a bead called vulcanite, which is actually repurposed vinyl records that we sourced from Ghana. And we just didn't like how we saw them.
So as moms, we both love fashion and we didn't want to give that up just because we were moms. So we started with, like Bess said, this bead, and we started creating bracelets. We created them for ourselves and we're just making them together, and then our friends started to see them and kind of the evolution of our business grew.
So Allie and I, neither one of us have a business or a fashion background. We actually met almost 13 years ago in the healthcare setting. We were both working in a nursing home. I am a speech pathologist and Allie occupational therapist. And so that is how we met. And then our friendship kind of grew, our love of fashion. But all of kind of our designs, we feel like we have a different kind of point of view because we didn't, this isn't our background. So we are really trying to kind of reinvent things.
But I do think our background in healthcare has made us very resourceful, which has been a key ingredient in building a business.
Because we are not traditional business people, we don't have a traditional background either. So Allie and I started our company with a $50 investment and a whole lot of sweat equity. We really poured everything we had into our company. But I think what's important about that piece of our story is really anyone can start a company. It doesn't take a lot of money. It just takes a whole lot of passion and a whole lot of hard work.
A whole lot of hard work. This is exactly right.
So because it was a whole lot of trial and error for the beginning, we really had to work on what our design was, what our trademark was for our pieces, etc., etc. And Allie's gonna go over those.
So basically what our style is, I think this took a while for us to refine. We tried a whole lot of different things, failed, and then finally figured out what worked for us. We love color, but we also love for it to be polished and put together looking. So most of our bracelets are done in 3 sections. So you'll see 3 sections of color, 3 sections of gold, and then all of our bracelets have a black component in them. It started with 5 black vinyl discs, which is for our children. I have 3 kids. Bess has 2 kids. Hello, 3 plus 2 equals 5. But as we've grown and expanded to earrings and necklaces, our black piece has stayed the same, but
the number of beads changes. Because some beads, if you put 5 black beads, it's just very overpowering.
I do think it's helpful to know, because maybe you're watching this and want to get inspiration for how to start your own business. I think one of the best pieces of advice we ever got when starting our business was about trademarking. If you want to go into that.
Yeah, so very early on, one of our friends who was actually in the fashion industry, she recommended us trademarking our pieces, or what is our signature on every piece. And so very early on, we started putting black beads in our pieces. And so if you are looking at a bracelet and you see a black bead, you know it's ours. And I think that was really very much a game changer for us, because our pieces are distinguishable for that black bead. We actually have a couple Peloton girls that wear us, and I can, even just while I'm riding Peloton, I can easily identify if they're wearing us or not by the black bead. So I think that was something that was very, very important. We started in August of 2019, 2019. And we originally, we did not have a business background. We launched and we had an Instagram. We weren't really sure what we were going to do with the Instagram. But one of our friends' husbands actually found our Instagram because it was a suggested friend, and the title of our company is Allie+Bess. It's real original. Anyways, so we decided, I think it was actually kind of like such a blessing in disguise because it forced us to kind of launch it. So we launched the next day, and
for 5 months we took orders through a direct
DM,
message.
yeah, which you guys can imagine how efficient that was. And then we would bead them,
each person
invoice them, and then we would bead them at my dining room table while my 6-month-old would like crawl around and try not to choke on beads. Anyways, it was quite the time. But our original plan was to be a wholesale, like get into stores. Like I think our dream would be to get into Nordstrom's, right? Well, February of 2020, we got into Stanley Korshak here in Dallas, which is a very high-end retail store, and we thought we had made it. And then, because we thought it would be like a springboard for us to get into more stores. Fast forward to March 2020, we all know what happens, COVID.
The world shuts down.
The world shuts down. No retailers were taking on new business. So we really had to completely flip our business plan and really change the way that we thought. And so that is when we decided to be a direct-to-consumer brand. And so we
launched a website and learned everything in a crash course in about 2 weeks. We figured it all out, and
well, I wouldn't say we figured it out.
We didn't figure it out. We never figured it out, but we have learned as we go.
We did. And so we launched our website, and then we really leaned into social media marketing. Because at that time, a lot of influencer marketing was huge, but also influencers, a lot of them were getting cut by bigger brands. And so they were willing to kind of take a risk on like no-name people, right? And so we were that no-name small brand that they really took a chance on. I think what we did really well was then started developing relationships with those influencers that we still have today.
I also think developing relationships with our customer was huge for us, putting ourselves in front of the camera and just really getting to know who our consumer was, what they wanted from us, what they wanted to see from us, and really learning who our customer was crucial.
I also think like a big thing about Allie and myself that has made us like get to the point that we are is we are always learning, we are always pushing ourselves, and we are not afraid to fail. We do a lot of things that don't work, but then there always is that one thing that does and is like the runaway success, right? And so we push ourselves until we find what that is. And I think that has definitely like propelled us over the past couple of years.
Yes. So in 2023, where we are today, I would say that we are still learning, still growing, and as of right now, we're trying to expand into even more accessories. We've expanded into necklaces, which happen to be our top seller now. We weren't sure if we would ever get there, but I think just consistency and persistence have really paid off. Also, like Bess said, trial and error with what necklaces work, what kind of like how we sell those. And then we've gone into earrings and hopefully
into a few other accessories coming in the future.
Yes.